If it's not a religious observance, I want there to be an internal conversation or a conversation with your spouse about what your giving plan looks like. And giving plan doesn't just have to be the exact dollar amount that you give, although that can be helpful. I'll give you some examples. A giving plan could be sitting down and figuring out what types of organizations are we going to contribute to in the coming year. It could be, are we going to contribute to multiple organizations or are we going to concentrate our efforts with a certain nonprofit? It could be, hey, we have reached some status in our career, and as a result, we're asked to be on a host committee for certain nonprofits or be part of a sponsorship for a charitable breakfast or dinner. Are we going to participate in these events? Are we going to be a certain level of sponsor? If we're going to a dinner on behalf of someone else and they start passing around the envelope asking us how much to give, what is a reasonable contribution that we think is appropriate for what we're going to do in that instance? And it's helpful in my experience because when you have that conversation either internally or with a spouse ahead of time, it can prevent you from some awkward situations where you haven't practiced how you're going to get out of it. If somebody asks you to give $1,000 and you either don't have it to give or it doesn't fit in with your spending plan, there's some value in having some scripts that you can say, hey, I appreciate you thinking of me. There's other organizations to which we're planning to contribute for this year. As a result of that plan, we've decided that for each organization, we're going to try to stay within this amount. So that's what I'm able to give. Having that type of conversation can save you from some instances where somebody might ask you to join a board that has a minimum contribution that you can't match, or they do ask you to participate in like hosting an event. And a condition of hosting requires you to give more than you are able to give. So have a conversation internally or with your spouse about the structure of your spending plan for the year. The next part is to determine whether there is a tax component to how you're giving. We're going to have some future episodes where we talk about ways that you can give like donor advised funds and donating appreciated stock. But you first want to have an understanding of why are we doing this? Yes, we want to contribute to these organizations, but is there a tax component to it? And if there's a tax component to it, it needs to be part of a comprehensive strategy. And that strategy might dictate how much you give. In fact, it might dictate how much you have to give to even be able to benefit from a tax perspective, which is what we'll talk about after the break.